Hi Mimma, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine. Nice to hear from you.
Nice to speak with you. Excited to chat to you about London Fashion Week because it's been a hell of a week actually, all things considered.
Yes, very excited.
I think there's been some amazing brands. There's just been a really good attitude and energy, and I was actually really pleasantly surprised with how everyone showed, what they showed. Very impressed. Anyone you'd like to spotlight as we get going?
And I'm very proud of how London designer or, wherever from designer that show here have been creative and most of all impactful and socially aware and aware of the times we live in. And they've been very, very subtle about this. And that's why I would like, first of all, to mention those that I think did that particularly well, more than the collection, even the way they presented and their Halpern, Osman, Bethany Williams, even Roxanda with a real women activist and scenes of, home scenes, art school with that incredible casting, Palmer Harding with a lovely video of friends and family. And I thought all of that was really reassuring and really beautiful. But what touched and moved me the most was the video of Christopher Kane with him showing his vulnerability and showing his doubt and saying, I discovered that I had another passion. And so I said, fuck it, I'm going to paint because that's what I want to do. And then he discovered that if it's not, imprisoned by deadlines and obligations, then his creativity flies. And then he created 5 or 6 amazing pieces. And he even said, I'm not even sure I'm going to produce them. So, this sense of freedom that came out from a difficult time.
You really felt that, not just with Christopher Kane, although you really did with him. I certainly felt that with quite a lot of designers, that some of the menswear designers had a little bit more time maybe and a little bit of freedom, as you just said, just to kind of flex their muscles a little bit. I certainly felt that with art school. And also it was Eden Lois' first show solo, previously used to be with Tom Barrett. And you just really felt that it was a sense of freedom in that collection. He was just really kind of letting his flag fly and really just kind of shedding a skin almost. And I felt that quite a lot with a few collections, Pariah Farzaneh as well, to show such a huge show-stopping, performative, amazing kind of experience out in the middle of nowhere, in a field with smoke coming off, and just being able to be like, actually, I've had the time and I really want to do something crazy. Or you do the opposite and do what Chris did and say, actually, rather than do a huge fanfare, I'm just going to really hone in on what makes me feel good, what to use his own words, more joy.
More joy, yes. And I agree with what you say. And I thought that was especially the beauty of these 4 or 5 days in London. We didn't have to run from one place to the other. And so we also had time to sit down and watch things and reason and read what others felt. And I thought it was beautiful. I really didn't miss the normal rhythm of Fashion Week. But then if we want to talk about the clothes and the collection, I also think we saw some beautiful things. I mean, I absolutely adored the new colors of Molly Goddard. She had her own style and her own signature things, but then she moved on with others and it looked fantastic. I absolutely loved the Simone Rocha small, focused, really interesting show. I love Soul Nash. And by the way, that's another video within Fashion Is that really touched my heart, the Soul Nash bit of it, the 4th one. And I just watched the Bianca Sanders presentation. And again, this evolution in what she does best, but yet with some reminders of who she is and what she stands for. And that lovely video of, these nerds and, again, the community of these black men that are trying to be something they're not. And they appear a little bit tacky, a little bit funny, a little bit goofy. I'm overwhelmed by beauty.
Yeah, me too. And I wholeheartedly agree with Saul Nash. I was saying the other day, I'm so excited to see what he does when he graduates from Fashion East, because I really feel like he's so ready to do his own thing. And I think it's almost a maturity that's just been spread over London Fashion Week. And I feel like everyone's had the time to really kind of reflect and think, and we've taken the foot off this crazy pedal that we've been on for so long. Everyone's actually managed to take a step step back and look at, hang on, what are my signature styles? What do I want my signature styles to be? How do I take that classic piece that I've been doing for a few seasons and really elevate it? And it's not to say that designers weren't doing it beforehand, but it's almost like this period of self-reflection and introspectiveness has just done everyone the world of good.
You know, they say hard roads bring good people. And I think that's a little bit what happened here. You know, they didn't have the pressure of delivering and creating a setup of a show and talking to the PR agencies on who's coming and who's sitting front row and the party and the money and the sponsor. You know, they just did what they felt they wanted to do, and they did it very well. And also, by the way, I also appreciated the smaller collection. Nobody wants to do too much. Nobody wants to waste, probably. And there was a lot of sustainable decisions and ideas. You know, many people have reused leftover fabrics or upcycled old products. And, you know, there's this push toward a better world.
I also think there's a kind of a push for better journalism almost, because I think sometimes when you're caught in the constant kind of hamster wheel of Fashion Week, it can sometimes be a case of who sang the loudest and who had the live band and who had the smoke screens and you know, what was performative and where did we travel to and as such. And I think in this case, it was just really lovely to be able to peruse and gently take our time and actually really appreciate that 3-piece collection, that video that's just the designer talking about themselves, that 3-minute teaser all has the same weight as something that before we might have glossed over because we had to race to North London to see a glamorous show in Alexandra Palace or etc. etc. I think it's benefited everyone, not just the designers.
That was very beautifully said, Georgie. I agree. And it goes for everybody, you know, the normal public, commentator, journalist, and the designers themselves and all the crews around. And you know, yesterday you and I went to the only in real life show I attended this week. And it was basically friends and family. It was people that were there because they wanted to be there. And, you know, it was weird, but it was interesting. By the way, pronouns that I'm talking about, another very good and mature collection.
Yes, absolutely. I agree. Tailoring on point. So it's been quite an amazing week, actually.
Yeah.
I think we've fangirled quite a lot.
On to Milan.
On to Milan. I'm very excited for that too.
I don't know. I'm going to tell you after I've seen it. I really hope that they will be creative.
Lovely to speak to you, Mimma. I'll catch up with you with Milan.
And you, Georgie, as ever. Thanks for calling and talk to you soon.
Speak soon. Bye.